China just beat NASA to something no one saw coming: the first ever close-up images of an interstellar visitor named 3I-ATLAS. These photos show geometric ridges and sharp grid-like lines on an object that shouldn't even exist in our solar system. NASA had the data first but stayed silent while China went public. Let's break down what these images reveal, why NASA stayed silent, and what 3I-ATLAS might really be. The images that shocked astronomy. On April 3, China released the first ever clear, close-up photos of an interstellar object, and they did it before NASA. The images came from China's Tianwen-1 Mars orbiter and showed an object called 3I-ATLAS, which had come from outside our solar system. But the surface of this object was not rough or bumpy like most comets. Instead, it looked covered with sharp, grid-like ridges that seemed to cross each other in straight lines. Are these strange lines just natural patterns, or could they be signs of something made by intelligent life? Had China really beaten NASA to the discovery that might change how we understand the universe? The release happened live at 9 o'clock in the morning, Beijing time. The China National Space Administration, or CNSA, showed 6 detailed photos on screen, each with a resolution of about 30 meters per pixel. To put that in perspective, these were almost 5 times clearer than any picture ever taken of an object from outside our solar system. For the first time, scientists could see surface details on a visitor from another star, grooves, edges, and repeating square-like shapes carved into its crust. The sight was unbelievable. Earlier interstellar visitors, like Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019, had looked blurry and shapeless. But this one seemed different, almost as if it had been purposely built. The pictures had actually been taken a few days earlier, on March 29, 2025, when Tianwen-1's camera had a perfect view of 3I-ATLAS near the orbit of Mars. The data was sent back to China, processed, and checked by engineers in Xi'an. Then, in a surprise decision, CNSA made everything public almost right away, including data about the object's orbit and light readings. That openness shocked many people, as typically in space research, governments usually take months to study data before releasing it. Soon, experts from the European Space Agency and other observatories confirmed the photos were real. "We are seeing geometry on a cosmic object where we shouldn't," said Dr. Sarah Kellerman from Cambridge University. "It could be a natural process we don't understand yet, or something else entirely." Meanwhile, NASA's silence made everything even more suspicious. NASA had been watching 3I-ATLAS since early 2025 with both the Hubble and James Webb Space Telescopes. According to insiders, NASA already had its own high-quality pictures at least 12 hours before China's release. But when asked to comment, the space agency did not respond. Part of the reason was political. The United States government was going through a partial shutdown that week because of a budget disagreement in Congress. As a result, many government agencies, including NASA, could not post on social media or release new data. In the meantime, China took the lead and captured the world's attention, making the government look bold and transparent, while NASA just seemed secretive by contrast. The European Space Agency soon released its own confirmation, saying the Chinese data was accurate and verifiable. Around the same time, CNSA shared even more files, including infrared readings that showed how the object reflected sunlight and rotated in space. Based on these measurements, scientists estimated that 3I-ATLAS was about 90 meters across and spinning in an uneven way, exposing flat surfaces as it turned. Independent researchers joined in too. A popular science YouTuber, Dr. Anton Petrov, explained that the patterns might be natural. He said they could form when ice under the surface heats up and cracks in straight lines, similar to the way dry mud splits as it dries. But not everyone agreed. Dr. Kellerman replied that the shapes looked too clean and regular. The biggest mystery is, what could make patterns like these in deep space? Eventually, NASA broke its silence. The agency released a short, careful statement saying that no evidence supports claims of artificial origin. It also explained that its own data would only be published after it was reviewed by scientists. China, on the other hand, embraced the moment. State television called the event a historic success for Chinese space exploration. Commentators said Tianwen-1 had proven that China was now a major player in deep space research. The country was no longer just a follower in the space race, but now leading it. People were looking to Beijing, not Washington, for answers about the universe. As for what was revealed upon studying the data, several observatories confirmed that the object's brightness changed in regular intervals as it spun, suggesting parts of the surface were made of different materials. That meant the patterns weren't just shadows or camera tricks. They were physical, possibly layers of rock and metal forming in some unknown way. For scientists, this was both exciting and confusing. No natural process they knew could create such even spacing or repeating grids on an interstellar body. So what does this mean? Was China's decision to release the photos immediately an act of scientific honesty, or a smart political move meant to outshine NASA? And what if those strange, straight ridges on 3I-ATLAS really are the first signs of something built, not born? For the first time, maybe the biggest discovery in human history isn't about who found the object, but who dared to show it first. But to understand what China really captured that day, we first need to understand what 3I-ATLAS actually is, and why scientists are calling it the strangest visitor our solar system has ever seen. The cosmic visitor. What exactly is 3I-ATLAS? Just a few months ago, a brand new interstellar object entered our solar system. Named 3I-ATLAS, it became only the third confirmed visitor ever detected from another star system. For astronomers, this was a piece of another world, a physical fragment of deep space that had traveled for millions, maybe even billions, of years before crossing paths with our Sun. And yet, when scientists looked closely, what they saw didn't fit anything they expected. Why was this object glowing green? Why did it hide its tail when every other comet shows one? And how could something that came from the depths of space look like it had straight edges? To understand why 3I-ATLAS has shaken the scientific world, we need to look back at its cosmic predecessors, two earlier interstellar visitors that changed astronomy forever. The first was Oumuamua, discovered in October 2017 by a telescope in Hawaii. It was the first time in history that scientists had spotted an object clearly coming from outside our solar system. Its path was too fast and too steep for it to have formed here. It was moving at about 87 kilometers per second, far faster than any ordinary asteroid. But what shocked everyone wasn't just its speed. It was its shape and behavior. Oumuamua didn't have a visible tail, yet it accelerated slightly as it moved away from the Sun. Some scientists said this was due to gas escaping from its surface, but others, including Harvard astrophysicist Dr. Avi Loeb, suggested it might be something else, possibly a piece of alien technology, like a solar sail reflecting sunlight. Just 2 years later, in August 2019, another interstellar object appeared, 2I Borisov. Unlike Oumuamua, this one looked and acted more like a traditional comet. It had a bright tail, a cloud of gas, and a visible nucleus. Borisov proved that interstellar visitors could look familiar, but it also confirmed that such objects were extremely rare. Out of the countless comets and asteroids orbiting the Sun, only 2 had ever been confirmed to come from its gravitational pull. That's what makes the discovery of 3I-ATLAS in 2025 so extraordinary. We have only seen 3 in all of recorded history, and each one has rewritten what we thought we knew about how the universe works. An interstellar object is simply a body, like a comet or asteroid, that didn't form in our solar system. Instead, it comes from somewhere else entirely, ejected from another star's orbit long ago and drifting across the galaxy until it passes near our Sun. The reason these objects are so rare is that space is unimaginably vast. The chances of one happening to cross our solar system are tiny, and even when one does, it's incredibly difficult to detect because it moves so quickly. Most of them pass by unnoticed, dark and silent. But 3I-ATLAS was different, entering the scene with a strange green glow that no one could explain. The object was first spotted in early January 2025 by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, based in Hawaii. Far from an ordinary comet, scientists realized something extraordinary when they took a closer look, that its speed and angle showed that it was not bound by the Sun's gravity. In other words, it wasn't looping around the solar system like our planets or comets normally do, it was simply passing through. That confirmed it was interstellar. Soon, telescopes all around the world turned toward it. As astronomers observed more closely, the mystery deepened. 3I-ATLAS behaved in ways that defied logic. Its brightness didn't stay constant. It flickered, sometimes dimming and then glowing stronger again. Its color also shifted, at times shining with a faint emerald tint. Some suggested this glow came from cyanogen gas, which sometimes makes comets appear green. But others pointed out that the green light came from regions where no gas should have been. Even more puzzling, it seemed to have a thick cloud of dust around it that concealed its tail, a behavior opposite to what we see in normal comets, whose tails stretch out visibly as sunlight pushes gas and dust away. So what makes 3I-ATLAS so different from the other two interstellar objects we've seen? For one, the level of structure on its surface. High-resolution images released by China and confirmed by other agencies showed straight, evenly spaced ridges and junction points, features that almost looked designed. Natural space rocks usually have chaotic surfaces shaped by impacts or melting, but 3I-ATLAS showed lines that ran parallel and intersected neatly, almost like a grid. No known geological or physical process can easily explain that. Scientists have offered a few theories. Some say the features could result from thermal fracturing, which is the process when ices deep inside an object heat up and crack in predictable ways as they expand and cool. Others think they might be the result of radiation exposure over millions of years, creating stress patterns that repeat. But even those explanations struggle to fit the exact symmetry and spacing of the patterns. Nature can make straight lines, but arguably not this many, and not this perfect. This debate has split the scientific community. On one side are researchers who believe the object is entirely natural, just unlike anything we've seen before. They argue that the solar system is just one example of how planets and comets form, and that objects from other star systems could have very different materials and processes shaping them. On the other side are those who think we might be looking at something more, perhaps a fragment of an artificial structure, a long-lost probe, or even debris from a civilization that once existed around another star. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.